The film Godzilla x Kong, the new empire reveals various Titan secrets that we didn't know before, guys. Like Godzilla's surprisingly easy transformation, Shimu being turned into the pet of Skar King, and the mysterious snake Titan battling Kong, which could potentially be related to this supersized mysterious Titan skeleton. Let's discuss all the Titans that appear in the film Godzilla x Kong, the New Empire. This time, comic shorts won't discuss human characters, but they'll delve into every appearance of the Titans, because the producers of Godzilla x Kong, the New Empire, don't care about humans. What they care about are Titans, Titans, and Titans. There's no need to worrying about the number of casualties due to Godzilla appearing in Egypt, no need to worrying about the number of casualties in Rome, Italy. The most important thing is Titans, Titans, and Titans, because the more Titans seen in the film, the more people watch. Let's start with the Godzilla vs. Scylla battle, which is a direct continuation of the events depicted in the comic Godzilla x Kong. The hunted Scylla is attempting to locate all sources of radiation in Italy, but is confronted by Godzilla, who doesn't allow it because Scylla is a toxic Titan. The more radiation she consumes, the more toxin she releases, so Godzilla doesn't like Scylla's presence. Additionally, Godzilla dislikes Scylla's presence on the surface, as explained in the film. All Titans should be in Hollow Earth except for Godzilla, who has long been a guardian on the surface of the Earth. This battle is very brief. Comic shorts don't believe that Scylla dies so easily after previously submitting to Godzilla in Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and becoming one of the Titans that left the audience curious. Scylla is made to die easily at the beginning of Godzilla x Kong. In contrast, in the comic Godzilla, Dominion, Godzilla seems to struggle against Scylla, so Godzilla lets it escape, which is very different from the film. Then there is an event where Godzilla destroys a nuclear facility in France and absorbs it. What? Hold on a second, guys. After following the MonsterVerse story from comics to films for so long, this is new for comic shorts. Comic shorts know that Godzilla absorbs radiation to gain energy, but they didn't know he also enjoys destroying nuclear facilities to replenish his own energy. In the MonsterVerse, Godzilla was never described as a destroyer of nuclear facilities. Comic shorts only knew that he absorbs radiation from around the Earth through his body, not with his mouth. This is completely new, guys. But if this event had been made as intense as the Dr. Serizawa detonating a nuclear bomb near Godzilla in Godzilla, King of the Monsters, surely the nuclear absorption event in France would have been one of the most memorable scenes. But because the duration of this event is so short, comic shorts forgot that this scene happened in Godzilla x Kong at all. It was only remembered when comic shorts watched the film for the second time. This is one of the important events, guys. But it's very forgettable due to its short duration. Then there's the event that disappointed the audience, the battle between Godzilla and Tiamat, which was very, very short. Many didn't expect Tiamat to be defeated with just one blast from Godzilla. Comic shorts know that Godzilla's energy is already greater than the result of absorbing nuclear energy in France, but from what comic shorts saw in this scene, Tiamat seemed to have no resistance, even though Tiamat's radiation is equivalent to that of the sun. As explained in the comic Godzilla, Dominion, Tiamat should at least be able to temporarily blind Godzilla because of the substance she sprays, even to the point where Godzilla had to bring Tiamat to land to defeat her, once again. Because the duration of Tiamat's death is shown suddenly after a pause when Godzilla releases his atomic breath, Tiamat suddenly dies. Next, let's talk about the process of Godzilla evolving into Pink Godzilla, also known as Godzilla Evolved. Again, this process of change could have been made more memorable by extending its duration. But because the film focuses on Kong, and this scene of Godzilla's transformation is squeezed in between Hollow Earth scenes, the transformation is shown suddenly. Comic shorts don't really have a problem if Godzilla scenes are supposed to be that quick. But what comic shorts don't agree with is the imbalance between Kong and Godzilla's proportions. The title of the film is Godzilla x Kong, but in practice, it's actually a Kong film. The character development for Kong is very satisfying, but not for Godzilla. Godzilla seems to be more of a background character in this film. The character of Kong in Godzilla x Kong is portrayed very maturely without words. Even though we know that Kong in this film is already very capable of handling everything in Hollow Earth. From hunting to setting up various traps for self-defense, Kong in this film is really cool. Just imagine, he doesn't even blink when one of Skar King's minions roars right in front of his face, and yes, the series of face-to-face scenes between Kong and Skar King in this film is absolutely amazing and one of the most memorable events in the film, without the help of human characters' dialogue, relying solely on body language. We seem to understand what Kong and Skar King are saying, thanks to Adam Wingard's skill in visual storytelling. But not all events require more time to convey storytelling, if comic shorts were asked to choose. The sequence of scenes where Kong fights Skar King would be the #1 moment in the film Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire, even though in reality, Skar King is not as frightening as we thought. But for viewers who didn't follow the theories of Godzilla x Kong, this sequence of scenes is still incredibly amazing and affects our perception of Shimu. For viewers of Godzilla x Kong who had consumed theories about Skar King or Shimu, they would be surprised that Skar King isn't as powerful as expected. She just loses in her first fight against Kong, and Shimu isn't afraid at all. She's just Skar King's pet. Perhaps that's what the majority of Godzilla x Kong viewers who had previously consumed theories about them would say. For viewers who didn't consume those theories, Shimu might seem normal because they didn't have any expectations for her. In essence, we, as fans, assumed that Shimu would be the main threat in this film, aside from Skar King, but because Shimu wasn't given time to explore her character further, especially the process of how she was captured by Skar King, Shimu is just a side character. An ordinary assistant to Skar King who becomes Kong's pet, even though she is on Kong's side. Then there's the Titan that comic shorts find unusual, Mothra, also known as Titaness Mosura, who rises again from death. Well, not exactly rising again. Mothra is always depicted as visually reincarnating. Mothra in this film is depicted more clearly. We can see her true form from her head to her stinger, which is different from Godzilla, King of the Monsters, where Mothra's visual was made more mysterious with light and the dark night atmosphere in the film. Because Godzilla x Kong always has a daytime atmosphere, we can clearly see the appearance of this version of Mothra in the Monsterverse. Mothra's appearance in Godzilla x Kong gives comic shorts goosebumps and tears, perhaps because comic shorts were really looking forward to this iconic Toho character. Okay, let's move on to Zuko and Titaness Dog. In the Godzilla x Kong figurine packaging, Zuko and Titaness Dog are shown as if they are best friends, but it turns out it's just a promotion in the film. They don't even meet. How can they become best friends? Zuko's appearance in this film plays an important role in the plot, where he helps Kong find the Skar King civilization. In addition, Zuko's duo with Kong really shows that these two titans can have human-like characteristics. Their communication is only through body language and gestures, but as viewers, we understand what they're doing, once again thanks to Adam Wingard's skill in visual storytelling. As for Titaness Dog, I thought you were special. But it turns out you're just an ordinary lizard. We don't really know. Maybe he's just an ordinary lizard who likes to steal Kong's food, or maybe he's actually an important Godzilla species. There's no explanation yet. It's the same with the Titan-sized bones. There's no explanation at all. What comic shorts predicted earlier was that these bones would just be decorations in the film. Some say that these bones might be related to the water dragon Titan that Kong fights in a lake, but that's just a theory, once again. The Monsterverse gives us a mystery in the form of these mysterious Titan bones, just like in Godzilla vs. Kong. If they didn't intend to explain it in the film, it would have been better not to show these bones at all. This actually destroys the exclusivity of the Titans that already exist. So, Godzilla isn't the only powerful Titan. If Skar King and Shimu are compared to such large titans, they become insignificant. But what do you guys think? Write your opinions in the comments section. This film is indeed epic and full of titan battles with impressive CGI, but at the same time, when there are important events regarding titans other than what happens to Kong, the film gives very brief proportions, so those scenes don't stick in our memory. Like what happened to Scylla, Tiamat, and also Shimu. We only remember that Scylla died just like that, Tiamat also died just like that, and Godzilla transformed so easily, unlike what was shown in previous films. The ratings of Godzilla x Kong on Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb are very different between the ratings given by critics and the ratings given by audiences, which mostly come from Godzilla fans from ancient times until now. Critics indeed require a neat plot and character development for a good film rating, while we can see that the contrasting numbers prove that Godzilla fans don't need these two things. Thus, Godzilla fans judge a film based on the intensity of the monster characters they see, and the fights that need to be made as cool as possible. You should know, guys. Even though critics will compare Godzilla x Kong to Godzilla -1, the producers and Adam Wingard really didn't intend to make Godzilla x Kong, the new empire, like the next Godzilla -1, from the beginning. They didn't intend to make this film the best of the best. These two films are not meant to be compared, because they have their own goals and markets. Godzilla -1 was made to fill every film awards ceremony, while Godzilla x Kong, the new empire, was made purely for entertainment to fulfill the desires of Kaiju fans and, of course, to make as much money as possible. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please click the like button, and don't forget to share it with your friends who like discussions about Godzilla and Kong. See you in the next video.